Well, let's look at what actually really actually what really is the karmic principles in Buddhism. There is so many myths around it and so many misconceptions around it. So let's try to lay down the principles as simple as possible. Well, and the first and most important principle is the karmic principle applying to every creature in all the different universes. There's no such thing as a one rule for one person or one creature and another rule for another person, another creature. Two, most important thing again, an initiated or an enlightened person like you and me, the next life is never a sure thing, never guaranteed. Um, Up to the point that it can change or be changed up to the point of last second in your life. That point. The initiation or enlightenment in the level, four levels, starting from the stream intera, Sotapanna, up to the fully initiated or fully enlightened Arahatat. Um, they can be they came in with their own benefits. Um, just to be short, if you became a stream enterer, you will never you are got the guarantee that you will never be happen to be a four different realms of suffering, namely hell, animal, Peta, and Athurakara. Now, how to achieve these four stages is all that nobody can grant it, nobody can grant it to you, nobody can give it to you. What you need to follow the prescribed training procedure, and the process is clearly laid down by Buddha himself. You need to remember that Buddha is not the giver or grantor of enlightenment. Buddha is you need to look at Buddha as a personal trainer who are going to tailor-make this process for you. There's no such thing as one fixed route. Is a there is a broad principles everybody need to follow, but the route can be different. But Buddha has done enough work for you to find your own personal route. So you need to look at Buddha as your own personal trainer. Now, again, there is a misconception about the next life. Next life, people think that when you died, or what you done in this life will be weighted up on one side of the good things on one side of the scale, and then bad things on another side of the scale, and then you will be apportioned either if you done more good things than the bad things, you will be apportioned a good life next time. It's not the case. What happened was there is a four. What you need to remember is that four different sort of you need to remember that the uh, whatever actions you have taken, they were they're going to leave a seat of a seat inside your own self, and that they're going to be come to fruition at the end of your life, and that can be that can be um, that can be principal fruition, which means that they must make your next life. They must make because they're going to make next life a must. For example, killing own father, killing own mother, or killing killing an arahat, or creating a schism in Sangha, or causing harm to Buddha. All these five things going to you are sure that you will be in hell if you got done these five principal sins. But again, there's a few principal good deeds which will make sure that you will be next life in a granted place. For example, you have attained jhana state, you will be in Brahmas, real Brahmas. So, and then next one is just the acts you done just before you died, and then if you have not done, there's nothing sort of. There's nothing like that than as you done every day, where we were as you done every day practicing, they will determine your next life. So any good deed, so that means that what could happen for next life. For example, if you a good deed, only one good deed that you done, only one good deed of the other deeds you done in the whole life going to determine which creature you are on. If a good deed uh, is there, then you will be in the good realms. And if you have a bad deed, then you will become an animal, hell, or beta, or Thurakara. So, but again, that doesn't mean that bad deeds or good deeds you done whole of your life will not create the effect. Like I said, the one deed only that will determine which creature you will be, but which quality are you you're going to have next life is is determined by the other things you done, other deeds you done in this life or previous lives. For example, I don't know whether you have ever looked at a dog. A dog became a dog because one bad deed has determined that it will be a dog. But you can look at them and you can see that there's a huge differences in their quality of life. Some of them are rich, some of them are poor, some of them well looked after, some of them are healthy, some of them got the poor health, and so on and so forth. Same with the human beings. So it's very important thing that to avoid bad deeds as much as possible and then the good deeds. And the last and most important principle is it doesn't matter what station in this life, nobody can help you, your station doesn't have anything to do with your karma effect. These karmic effects are natural law, and natural laws doesn't look at what station you are. For example, our late queen, she was a queen, she was very rich, powerful, blah 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 blah. But when she actually go into next life, the only thing that's going to determine is her good deeds and her bad deeds. So we know that she doesn't have any principal deeds because obviously she has not killed her mother, she has not killed her father, she didn't have the chance to kill an arahat because she never met an arahat, and she didn't cause Shisame Sangha because she doesn't have a clue what Sangha means, and he obviously she didn't harm Buddha because she didn't have the chance to meet Buddha anytime. So, well, I mean, anytime this life. Who knows in the previous life? Also, she doesn't have any principal qualities because she has not attained any jhana status. So she could have been to any of the 11th karma. Karma doesn't mean the karmic. Karma means that the sensual states where you can have other sex as much as you like, if you think about that type of the thing. So she could be in the four bad realms of karma, like hell, animal, Peta, and Athurakara, or she could be human both, or she could be 6 levels of devas or angels. Who knows? Well, there's a couple of people who can know about that, but again, there's only one reliable person. Uh, the person with the jhana who attained the jhana status to up to the reach up to the uh, who reach up to the level that he has attained supernatural powers, can see where she's gone, but his vision or his vision or his testimony is not reliable because he stays tainted with the stated with a kilesa, that means unclean unclean factor stay there. So his vision is still tainted, so you cannot rely on him. The only person who can be relied on is an arahat with supernatural powers. And mind you, there's a lot of arahats, but they might not have a supernatural power. So the only person who can tell you exactly where Queen is now will be an arahat with the full supernatural powers. Um, Supernatural powers and enlightenment is as two separate matters. So like I said, that some people will have the supernatural powers, but not necessarily an arahat, and an arahat might not have the full supernatural powers as well. And so an arahat with a full supernatural powers are a reality, even in the times of the Buddha. Well, obviously, Buddha can tell you exactly what's going to happen to you, and not only next life, but whatever time, whatever time stream. For example, she can definitely tell you what you were 4 years before, or whatsoever years before, and what you will be in next, let's say, the 10 years later. So only Buddha has unlimited vision behind our divine time or space. Where are we now? Yeah, that's one of the powers that only a Buddha can be attained. We can look at how you are going to achieve these enlightenment and supernatural powers next sort of talk. Thank you.